We are here at the Diamond Supply Co. store on Fairfax in LA with the founder, Nick Terche. Thank you so much for having us today.
It's nice to have you.
So can you bring us back to the early 90s, at the very beginning of Diamond Supply?
Yeah, Diamond started in 1998 as a skateboard hardware company.
Yeah.
I wanted to start a brand for my friends to all skate for. We all skated for different skate teams, so I thought it'd be cool to start something that we could all skate for, which hardware seemed like no one really had hardware sponsors, so I can get everybody on the same team with hardware because everyone had like shoe sponsors and board sponsors and clothing company sponsors and things like that.
Nike SB starts in 2002. How did the conversation start to bring you on to make a dunk?
So what happened was that Nike SB approached Girl Skateboards, where I was being distributed out of, talking to Sam Smythe, who was the team manager for Girl, and they wanted to do a team manager series. Sam, he asked me to come into his office and he was like, hey man, can you help me design some colorways for Nike to do this Girl Skateboards Nike SB? He already had a bunch of colorways laid out, but then I had this one t-shirt that I'd been making, which was our OG script, Diamond Supply Co. in the diamond blue like colorway. And so I was like, man, we should just make a shoe in this colorway and see what they think. When we sent it to him, it was actually a high top.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, send it to him highs because we both were like big Jordan 1 fans, and you know the dunk highs are kind of like Jordan 1s. So we sent them highs, but then they were like, man, we really want it to be a low. And I was like, cool, whatever, because I would actually skate in the lows anyway, but I just would rock the highs.
Those collaborations started to come out, and I know that yours came out in August of 2005, but in February was when the Pigeon one came out, and it's sort of like, there was the Riot, and you know, Jeff was like, we weren't expecting this at all.
Yeah.
How did that sort of shift or create expectations for how the release was going to go in August?
I knew that the Pigeon sold out. I just figured sneakers sold out all the time anyway, just growing up as being into Jordans and stuff, like way back in like the, you know, the early 90s, there'd always be like lines in front of like Nike Town and wherever Jordans were being dropped. It was like a time for sneakers that never happened before because, yeah, people were lining up for like, you know, limited Jordans and stuff back in the day, but there weren't really collaborations like that. Air Force One did some, you know, they did like Mr. Cartoon and things like that, and there's been some, but Nike SB just took it to a whole nother level.
Do you think that there was anything specific to skate culture that made that possible?
I think just the way that the marketing was, that it wasn't just that it was, you know, marketed for skaters, it was that it was only available in skate shops. So you couldn't go to Nike Town or any of these places where people would normally go buy Jordans and things like that. You would have to go to a skate shop, and these skate shops were only getting like, you know, 12 to 20 pairs, you know, in each city. So people were going crazy. They were mad limited and super hard to get. So that's what set it off, is just that it was exclusive. The shoes were sick, man. No one ever made anything like them before. Yeah. You know, like Freddy Krueger's to the, you know, the Dunkles, even the Supremes in 2002. It was like, okay, now we got some low top dunks. You know, they look like low Jordan 1s with the cement print. I mean, the elephant print. It's like, damn, these are crazy.
Yeah, there's an elephant print. I mean, you look at the Reese Hunter Forbes, you see these materials.
And the denim dunks, crazy.
That like no one had ever used on shoes. And I'm wondering if it's like, if it's sort of a, you need a counterculture mentality to think about these things in this way, because sneaker people were like, we got our leather, we got our suede, we have mesh. And that by sort of putting it into a culture that is inherently going against the grain, it opens up everyone's minds and then sets the tone for the next 2 decades.
Well, the thing is that it pretty much set off streetwear to become popular too, because it was like streetwear on your feet, right? It's like art on your feet now instead of just colorways. There was like crazy stuff. The De La Soul dunks and everything. It was like a real cultural thing at the time. It was everything that was cool was coming out of Nike SB. I don't think sneaker culture would be what it is today if the Nike SB era didn't happen.
That's it for this episode of From the Ground Up. If you liked what you saw, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. And while you're there, drop down in the comments down below and let us know what skateboarding sneaker sticks out in your memory as the best or the worst of the style.